Hey, good morning. I just wanted to show you our garden beds that we've prepared. We've had this vegetable garden for probably 3 years, and in that time we've had plenty of produce, but we've had a bit of a slow period, and we've just spent the weekend preparing the soil and getting it ready to grow some more seeds. We're planning on planting carrots and beetroot here. We have some organic varieties of those that we're going to plant. So all the weeds have been removed. We've had plenty of rain lately, so we had heaps of weeds to take out. We've just popped the plastic down to prevent the weeds from actually growing through again, because that would get rid of all the good work that we did. My husband actually put through this watering system through the garden, and I mean he knows a bit about that stuff, so for him it was pretty easy, but I don't think it's too difficult. Like, I think it's something that anyone that's a bit handy would be able to put in. It's not that difficult at all. That water actually comes from our water tank that we have next to our house. It's a 22,000 litre water tank, and over winter last year it almost dried up, so we really appreciate when it rains, because this garden does get watered solely from the water tank. If that runs out, we do have a way of connecting that to town water, but obviously we prefer to water with our own water that we've collected from the rain. So these garden beds, they just have the sugarcane mulch there. We find that that's a really great way to protect the soil, and the soil that we have is actually, we've spent a few years building that soil up. When we came here, moved here 4 years ago, it was quite a sandy soil and it wasn't very good quality, and we actually built that up with plenty of horse manure. I think we've used horse manure everywhere throughout the property. It's a great way to improve the soil. It is a little bit dry today, but after some rain the soil looks really good. We do have worms in the soil. We have a complete ecosystem in there, and again, as with everything else here, we don't spray anything. So everything we have, we grow naturally without the use of any chemicals at all. And so that means that we have a thriving ecosystem, in the soil. I mean, soil is not just, broken down rocks or manure. It's actually, living and breathing. There's so many creatures in the soil that we have to look after. And if we spray the soil and spray our plants, then we destroy that delicate ecosystem. And I think it's really important to encourage those good insects into our soil system, and that just means that the soil is better aerated. I mean, worms are great at aerating the soil. They make the soil healthy, and when we do pull out all of the weeds here, when you're down there pulling out the weeds or planting new veggies, you have a whole host of beneficial insects that they actually, it's like a delicate balance. You have the spiders that keep down the bad pests, and you have ladybugs that eat the problem pests as well, and the worms and the ants and the little cockroaches and the frogs and everything. So it's fantastic actually to have a garden, because you get to get your hands dirty and really know where your food comes from, and it's really awesome. So we're really grateful that we have this opportunity to grow all of I mean, we don't have anything in here at the moment. There's very little, but there will be more. We have plans to put plenty in here. We actually do have an aquaponics system, and so the aquaponics system, that's where we will be growing our capsicum and tomato and beans and kale and that sort of thing, and lettuce as well, so all of our plants, our veggies that grow above ground. And then here we plan on planting the root vegetables. So we are still in summer. We will be moving into spring in a month or so, and it will start getting cooler, and then we'll probably put things like broccoli and cauliflower and that sort of thing in here as well. So around the corner here we have a bed that is just for potatoes, and they've been planted already. So we have a whole lot of potatoes in this bed here, and we will hopefully harvest those, you know, once they've come up and we have all of those potatoes. That whole bed has been planted with potatoes, so you know, I will continue to update you on how the garden's going. I mean, there's not much in it at the moment. We do have corn. We have plenty of corn. I planted all of this corn. Our friend gave us one of his corn cobs that he grew himself, and I planted that in here. We do need to do a bit more weeding in here. As I said, we've had a lot of rain, and while that's great for vegetables, it also meant that we had an awful lot of weeds. So we're looking forward to spending some more time in the garden and really getting that back to how, you know, we obviously want it. You know, quite often we grow all sorts of different vegetables in here. We often have eggplant and zucchini and pumpkin and I mean heaps of things. But we will be using this patch here primarily for the root vegetables and for vegetables that spread, that aren't suitable for the aquaponics system. So that will be pumpkins and things like that. So I will update you again in a few weeks' time probably. I wouldn't expect that I'll have much more to show you in the next week or so because it's still a process. But it's pretty exciting, and we're looking forward to having a new harvest of vegetables and fruit. We also have just this netting here. I just wanted to point that out to you, that we have this this netting here that my husband and his father built, and that's a frame. On the sides there are metal rods that have been placed in the dirt, and then the flexible tubing over the top, and then the netting has been placed over, and the netting is just held in place with like little ties. You can even use string. We have used ties as well, and it just keeps the birds out. Sometimes we do have birds in here that manage to get through somehow and then they can't get out, and we just have to go in and let them out. But it just means that, you know, we still have tomatoes and strawberries and that the birds haven't eaten and everything. So just wanted to show that to you. It did take a bit of work, but it's certainly worth it. I mean, it's been up for 2 years now, and it's been fantastic. So, you know, yes, the garden's messy, and yes, there's not much in it, but there will be. There has been in the past, and there will be again. So I'll definitely keep you updated with that. Anyway, have an awesome day and stay healthy. Bye.